Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 56th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You probably know me better.
The Poorly Planned Podcast.
Says BHL Hudson. With me, as always, is my friend, co-host.
What's he gonna do?
And
what's he gonna say? Got an orange.
Got an orange.
And got an orange.
Freddie. He's here. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, and today we actually will be talking about TV shows again. We're making up for all those times we didn't talk about TV shows, but said God. We do. So, we did the Marvel Netflix shows part 1 a while back. Oh, God.
Oh, goodness. Ooda lolly.
So...
Oh, right. This is gonna be... Is that like a month back for them? For the viewers?
Probably. I think so. So we're here with
a week for us
with the part 2. It's a real interstellar situation here. So we're going to talk about the rest of the Marvel Netflix shows. I might talk about them. I mean, briefly go over the ones that we can remember and the ones that we totally have definitely seen and definitely have not seen 2 of these seasons. So spoilers for all of these. There are time codes in the description. Let's just jump into it.
God. All right.
Starting off with strong, The Punisher, season 1.
I think. Wait. Okay. So, season 1 is before Russo is scarred up, right?
Yeah, so he's just, like, evil slick man now. Before he becomes evil, buzzcut man.
I genuinely think that The Punisher, these 2 seasons are my favorite of...
Above Charlie Cox.
I'll say... no, okay.
You're forgetting Foggy Nelson appears in one of these.
I'll say it's almost parallel to the Cox.
I would agree.
It's so good. It's better than all the other ones. Like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Steel Hand, you know?
So bad. I would agree. I think Daredevil's highest, and then I think Jessica Jones season 1 and the Punisher seasons are the same level, but it's a great season. I think it does feature a legendary character known as Sam Stein.
Oh, God, it does.
I don't think we've ever discussed on the pod, maybe?
I'm pretty sure we have.
We must. There's no way
we didn't talk about Stein.
But Michael Nathanson. As Sam Stein, the legendary police hero.
Police dog.
Who
legendary bloodhound.
Who from memory gets shanked by Russo?
No, yeah, so
just gets shot.
No, he's like an absolute idiot. He's got Russo in his sights, goes up to him like a rookie. Like a bloody rookie, I say.
When Stein is the most professional man I ever know.
That is a lie. Nathanson could never be professional. So he goes up to Russo, got a gun pointed at him, and then as he's within like arm's reach, Russo whips out like an Assassin's Creed-esque knife and just stabs.
You should never go within knifing reach of Billy Russo. Everyone knows this.
That is common knowledge.
That's the first thing that they teach you in police school. If you see this man,
see the Russo, don't get too close, Russo.
It's the worst thing you've ever said. Yeah, I think he's excellent. Not Stein. Stein is also good. To be fair, we're memeing him.
I hate that you had to immediately say that you do not think that Stein is good, because otherwise your YouTube channel would be taken down for multiple violations.
For extreme violence. I think...
For public nudity.
We're memeing him a bit. I think Michael Nathanson is really good as Stein. He is. I think John Bernthal... we talked about it last time, but he is amazing.
Him and Cox are the best characters, and also Fisk. But
some of the best casting in the MCU. Period. I think Micro's quite good.
I really do like Micro. Micro is amazing. I made a few It's Your Boy Micro photos.
Yeah, because you had like a beanie on or something. I remember. I wonder if I can find this, but I think you also sent me a Snapchat a few years back where you've blotted out one of your eyes and you say, "Good luck, Agent Pineapple," because the villain is called Agent Orange. And if I can find that, I'll put it in. But that's one of the worst things you've ever sent me. But yeah, Agent Orange, he's an okay villain.
I think he's pretty good because he's more of a, even though he is the main villain, he's also like he's secondary in a way, you know.
To Russo,
right? Because Russo is below him, as Russo always is with the ladies. Lazy bastard. But like, I think it works well. Especially his. spoilers for all the Marvel Netflix shows.
Oh.
Ooh, didn't even say that.
I did.
Did you? Oh.
I believe I did.
I'm a fool.
You leave?
I'm a screw up. But like his death is pretty epic.
Agent Orange?
Yeah.
Does he get beaten to death?
Yeah, where he's like torturing Punisher.
And then he gets the
Bernie
the Bernie fists.
As much as you he calls them. You're about to get burn and thaw.
He's pointing to his feet.
His toes.
Yeah, that's a pretty brutal
scene. As much as I like you hate Russo, but you also really like him.
He is charismatic. He's a very charismatic.
Especially like at the end where he's like he's an asshole, but he also kind of he stays true to his
morals.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to an extent.
Yeah. I mean,
after he like kills a bunch of people.
Yeah, but like he's in there, he's like, nah, Frank.
Having not seen this in a long time, I can't tell what you're referencing, but I'm gonna assume you nailed it. Yeah, I remember he comes in and he's like, yeah, don't beat him up too much, Agent Orange. Agent Pineapple. Just do it a little bit. I will say, I think the first few episodes aren't great. They're a bit slow.
What is it that happens in the first few episodes?
He's just hanging out with Micro in his hideout for like 4 episodes.
There's some intense scenes.
Like, it has some good moments, but it's quite slow. And I think it's the opposite of a lot of the other Marvel Netflix shows where it starts slow and then it gets amazing, which I'd prefer, honestly, to be honest.
No, yeah, me too, but I don't think it's like very noticeable. I think it's kind of sets it up and then it goes crazy. Then it goes ham.
No, yeah, fair enough. It goes John.
It goes Mad Men.
The action is amazing as well.
Speaking of Mad Men.
It's super brutal.
It is so good.
And excellent for the character. I think the show... I rewatched some of my review to refresh my memory a little bit. I think it gets a little... I don't want to say too dark at times, because it's a very dark character, but it's almost... I think when he's in Daredevil, it's kind of like... There's like more of a moral compass in Daredevil. And when he's the main character, it's almost like too unpleasant. Like, it's almost overwhelming how, like...
I think that's because you're a Jim and Pam fan.
That's probably right.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be just all over the place.
No, yeah, it is. Yeah, I did cry many times though. Yeah, no, it's brutal, but it fits the character perfectly. And it does lead to some very, very cool action.
And I will say that, honestly, I think Russo is second... I mean, I haven't seen Jessica Jones, so maybe he's second to Kilgrave.
Kilgrave is up there.
But I will say he's probably one of the best Marvel villains.
He is, definitely.
Also, he's such a sick bastard. Like, he killed Stein, and then he goes washes Stein's blood off of...
What's her name? Dina. Yeah, she's really good as well. Mm-hmm. But that shot is like... that shot sticks with me, because I remembered, it gives you, like, a...
Russo!
It gives, like, a very, like guttural reaction. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that's so awful. And I think he's better as a villain in this than he is in later seasons. Also, we're going to skip the trivia, because we ain't got the time for trivia today.
God.
Except
Turk Barrett. I love Turk Barrett.
I also just wanted to mention him because we forgot to mention him in the last episode. So Turk Barrett is in this, just so we know.
He's like the Stan Lee of Marvel Netflix shows.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, we love Turk. He always gets the Bernie, the burn and thaw. Even from Charlie Cox.
It's the Turk and the Bernie are just magnets.
Then Jessica Jones season 2. I guess we won't spend too much time on this because you haven't seen any of Jessica Jones, but it's a piece of trivia. Jim Carrey was the original choice for Kilgrave, which I can kind of see, but also it would be it's way better with David Tennant. He's amazing. But season 2, I think, was
little Tennant rap there.
Was good, although it was a downgrade from the first season.
What's season 2 about?
So basically, there's this crazy woman who's chasing Jessica Jones around for a while, and then Jessica Jones is like, "Who are you?" And then around episode 7, very, very Luke Cage-esque, she goes, she doesn't say, "I'm your mom," but it is revealed that she is her mother. And it turns out her mom, because, her parents died you don't know, but her whole family died in a car crash when she was a kid. Okay. But her mom didn't die, and she was actually given superpowers.
Of course.
And now she's chasing Jessica Jones, and then they kind of team up at the end. Because, I can't remember, it was a while ago. This is like 2 years ago. But the thing is, it's very Luke Cage-esque, because I really loved the first 7 episodes, really solid stuff, great performances.
And then a relative is introduced.
And then there's a relative reveal, and then it gets so... The mom, I think, is such... I don't know, it was the mom kind of broke it a little bit for me, because you're supposed to start, like she's the villain basically. I thought she worked really well as this like she was really scary, like she was a really good villain. But then it's revealed she's her mom, and then you're supposed to. You learn more about her, and then you're supposed to
sympathize with her.
You're supposed to start liking her. I never did, which is a problem because then the final episode is basically them teaming up, and then they're going off together. I think she dies at the end, but
thank God.
You're supposed to like be like, oh yay, they're teaming. I'm like,
who are they teaming up against? Gas, taxes,
the government. I don't know, but I was just like, no, like don't do this. I also, I don't like that. They also add this like element of destiny to it because like. They have a flashback episode where Jessica Jones is dating this guy, and then the guy is killed by her mom, and that's why she has this tragic backstory, even though she already had a tragic backstory. It was like trying to add more layers of destiny. I was like, you don't need any of this. So I think it falls apart a little bit, but I still think a solid show, a solid season of television. Mm-hmm. Speaking of
solid,
the Cage dab. We'll talk about that.
God.
You remember that. Dab on him! Dab on him. He says, I am Harlem.
And Harlem is me.
And then he hits a dab. So, do you remember? He had to apologize for that. Mike Coulter put out like a video saying like, I'm sorry for ruining the dab. That was pretty epic.
Yeah.
I think it was meant...
Big Coulter move.
It was meant as tongue-in-cheek, but I still enjoyed it. So yeah, Luke Cage Season 2, he fights the Bushmaster, which I remember at the time.
We found hilarious. Because we are immature.
The thing is, it's not hilarious at all, but because we found it so hilarious for so long, it still makes me laugh. So he fights the Bushmaster, who is actually a really good villain.
Bushmaster.
The Bushmaster. He has like superpowers or whatever. That's how they pitched the show. Alright, so this guy, he has superpowers or something, I don't know. Just buy it.
Don't even want to know what they are.
He's a really good villain, and I think Mariah Dillard, if you remember her from the first season. Dillard. That's a completely normal name. I accept you laughing at
Dilla.
Who?
Just Dilla.
Oh. Jesus. I don't know. Freddie's thinking of a Danish word that means
Dillard.
The most mature pod. Anyway, Mariah Dillard, she was the sister of what's his face of this is falling apart very quickly. I'm sorry. She's the sister of Cottonmouth from the first season of her.
Oh right, yeah.
She's really good. She's actually excellent in this. And Misty.
She's more than good.
and Misty Knight, remember her from the first season?
She the
cop.
Oh, the one that got her arm cut off.
Yeah, she's also very good. And Shades is also there. I didn't write Shades is good. I just wrote Shades. I assume he was good, but since I didn't write it, I can't verify that information. He's always pretty good though. He's a good.
I like him.
But I think this is a very fun season. Not fun. Well, it was fun and also.
Iron Fist team up, you say?
They team up for an episode. He shows up and he's like, "I'm here to help you beat up some bad guys," and then high five, and then Cage is like, "All right,
all right."
That's an excellent episode, and I think there's a plotline with his dad, which is very good. The thing is, I was rewatching some parts of my reviews to remind myself of this. I swear I made a review for this, couldn't find it, so I guess I didn't, which is mysterious, but.
Because I'm the biggest Luke Cage fan.
I can't remember what I know I didn't like something here. I think it probably went on for too long, but I can't remember precisely what it was. But I think this was just about as good as the first season, just for like slightly different reasons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also watching this, I realized I do genuinely miss this Netflix Marvel world. Like it was
also just the hype of it, like, oh
yeah,
Punisher's coming out.
As much as the shows sort of got progressively not as great sometimes. It was a very interesting, like, cool, unique corner of the MCU.
Well, is it for sure not coming back? Like, now it's moved to Disney Plus, right?
It might come back.
I would love a Cox reunion.
So yeah, Luke Cage Season 2, pretty good. And then there was Iron Fist Season 2, which I watched the first 5 episodes of and then stopped because I
watched the first 5 of the first season and then stopped.
Yeah, well...
really not
some people just have...
Fisters.
Some people have more stamina for this stuff than others. But, yeah, it wasn't even bad. It was just...
Not good.
Not engaging, really. I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm probably not gonna review this, and so I'm only really watching it for my own like pleasure, and it's not
displeasure.
Well, and it's not like I'm not crazy about it. So like, why would I? Like, I'll watch something else. So, and then we've come to what I would say potentially the best season of Marvel Netflix ever, and one of my favorite seasons of television I've ever seen.
It is so good.
Daredevil season 3, which was Also, I think the most excited I've ever been for a new... Because I don't watch much TV, so this was the most hyped I've ever been for, like, a TV show. And my goodness.
Did it deliver?
On firing on all cylinders here.
It was so good.
It was, I think... If we're to talk about the only thing that pretty much the only thing I didn't like, it's that last shot of Poindexter, where he has a bullseye in his eye. That was awful. I don't
remember that.
No, you remember where he's getting spine surgery, and then they're like, this spine, and then it zooms in on his eyes, and he's like, and he has like a little...
Oh, really? I did not... I don't even think I realized he had a sight in his eyes.
Well, that was awful. that was an awful, like, 10 seconds out of 13 episodes of just...
Of just goodness.
It
was so good.
Bro, it's up. It has incredible action, incredible characters.
Good rehabilitation from the Cox as well, because he was crushed under...
He was under a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
Rocks on the Cox.
Sounds like a drink. I'll have a rocks on the Cox.
That's the title of the first episode. It's just rocks crawling out. Also, Rocks in the Cox sounds like a sequel to Boxes of Bush.
Imagine the album.
We should so make an album.
Boxes of Bush and Rocks in the Cock.
Cox.
Sorry.
Jesus, man. Don't make it weird.
I didn't read that. Don't make it weird. So stupid.
So, what do you think of season 3?
It is amazing. Also, I was a little bit like...
I was about to just yell Nadim at you, but I decided not to. You're welcome. You're welcome for the sacrifice that I made.
Just imagine you screaming and like me for once genuinely trying to say something,
making a good point.
Good point for once.
Nadim.
Well, he was there, wasn't he?
Nadim was great.
He was pretty good. Yeah.
And Fisk screams Nadim at one point.
Nadim. Yes. I was a little hesitant about Nadim about Fisk getting out of prison. You know, because like he did a lot of bad shit. I was like, how the hell is he gonna get out? But like the way they did it. It worked.
Yeah, he makes a deal or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, everything about the story sort of comes together pretty perfectly.
Yeah.
On both like a character level and then also on a like sort of the plot going in the most interesting direction, and then ending up with a really great climax where he beats up Fisk but then refuses to kill him. And like it's all, I don't know, every moment has such like gravity to it, and like everything that's meant to be powerful is powerful.
Yeah.
It has so many fun... Remember when at the end when finally Foggy and Matt are teaming up and they're like, Foggy and Matt, attorneys at law, or whatever they say.
It was such a good... Yeah.
Probably it's Murdoch and Nelson, not Foggy and Matt. I wouldn't trust the law firm.
Nelson and Cox.
But, and then also, when he, do you remember when he reveals his face to Nadim, and then it's like, bum bum, or whatever. The music doesn't go like that, but it's a really cool...
20th Century Fox place.
Wait, I want to show you this, because this is like...
Nadim Daredevil.
This is one of my favorite moments. Daredevil saves Agent Nadim.
So I owe you one.
And then it cuts the episode. It's such an epic... Every epic moment has like the weight you want. The prison fight, remember? One take through like the... oh, come on. It was the huge action scene.
It was in the beginning of it, right?
Or where he's in the prison and then it's like... Oh, come on.
Just show me.
I'll just show you... I'll show you a screenshot and you'll remember this.
Oh, I do remember that.
One of the best action sequences I've ever seen in my life.
Do you think that trumps the one from season 1?
Yes, 100%. It also, oftentimes when they try to like one-up something that was amazing, like in season 2 they kind of did it. They have a hallway fight. That's really good, but it's not as impressive. This one, they actually managed to trump it.
I love Poindexter.
Poindexter,
he's such a good character.
An excellent, really interesting character, really well portrayed, and leads to some amazing action scenes because he's so like terrifying in the action, but also it makes it so interesting, like the fact that he has this aim. And the final action scene is amazing.
With the 3 of them in Fisk's apartment.
because it's their 3 different fighting styles. Like Matt has like his like
ninja.
But yeah, it's like
skills.
martial arts. Then Fisk is just like this big like brawler, and then Poindexter has his like intense aimbot hacks.
Those life hacks from Poindexter.
It's just, and it has an amazing ending too, because I think the show was canceled right before this aired, I think. So this was like the last season, or maybe it was right after. But regardless, it has an ending where I actually wasn't even upset that it was canceled, because, I mean, I was, because I want to see more, but it has such a perfect happy ending, because he beats Fisk, he doesn't kill him, he finds peace with himself, and then him, Nelson, and Karen, best bros again.
I was upset when they weren't best bros.
Yeah, and now they're best bros again. And it's just,
it's a good feeling.
Fantastic season of television.
Mm-hmm.
So.
God, something that is also fantastic.
Punisher season 2.
I'll say, it's a bit of a tough one, because I don't know. I love them both seasons, but I do think the first one is a little bit better.
Me too. Yeah,
but I do like it's the girl he brings with, right?
Yeah, around. I don't remember her name, but the actress is Georgia Wiggum.
Wiggum,
like Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons.
I haven't seen The Simpsons.
It's also spelled different, so it's not like that at all.
But yeah, I again, it's just so good.
It's very
Bernthal, amazing as ever. I do like the return of Russo. He's like a completely different character, though.
I do like his return. I think he's good. I do think he's less compelling than he was in season 1, because in season 1 he has more. I think he's more scary because he's like smart and terrifying. Like he does evil stuff very intelligently, where here it feels it's more.
It's a little bit like
generic bad guy stuff. Like sometimes he'll just
he's kind of like insane person, you know?
Yeah, well he'll just like he'll be talking normally, and then he'll start screaming, and then like he'll start punching the wall, and like it's kind of like more just. It's if you ask someone like just act like a crazy person, then it's less compelling than like this intelligent.
But I do like the twist that he's forgotten that he's actually like turned bad.
That does add an interesting dynamic to Frank's relationship to him, because like
he's basically going after Frank for revenge of doing this to his face, and he doesn't realize that Frank do be justified.
Well, yeah, and also because Frank basically has to make the choice of like he has to kill him, but like also it's almost like him killing someone who like a different person, because he like in his mind he didn't even do it. And then also I at the end when Frank just like kills him.
How is it he kills him in the end?
He just, because the thing is basically there are 2 plot points, which I think is actually the biggest problem with the season, which otherwise is great. These 2 plot lines don't really connect that well, and it feels a bit crowded. But there's the other guy, the other bad guy, basically.
Forget.
But he was pretty good from memory. He was okay, but basically for a lot of the second half of this season, Frank is going after that guy, and Billy's doing kind of his own thing over here. And then at the end, Frank finally comes back, and it's almost like Frank's been through, like he's covered in blood. Frank's been through so much shit this season, and he just sees Billy. He's like lying. He's been shot or something. He's lying there, and and Billy's like, oh, like Frank, we used to be like, oh, you were such a good friend. And then he just shoots him in the head, and then just walks away. Like he doesn't say anything to him. He just walks up, looks at him, shoots him, and then just walks out. It's a very.
I mean, to be fair, it fits the Frank Castle.
No, I love it. I think it was a bit like almost underwhelming, but at the same time, it's so. It fits the character so well.
It's also just kind of like the fact that it's so blunt. Also, kind of hits you.
And Frank's just like, because I enjoy that he's like, he's done with all this, like, he's done with this shit. Like he wants to be done with it. And he's just like, done.
Yeah. Job complete.
I do think the very end, similarly to Daredevil season 3, is horrible. Remember at the end where he shows up and there's like these 2 gangs or something about to fight, and he's like, "Hey, I'll fight you," and then he pulls out 2 machine guns, and he's like, "Brrr!" and he just screams.
Vaguely, I do.
It's the goofiest scream. It's just, "Brrr!" He just does like a Krasinski in A Quiet Place. There's no guns firing. It's just a scream that kills them. Also, there's a death scene. Remember the psychologist or psychiatrist, whichever it is, who's taking care of Russo. And remember, she falls out the window, and it's the worst looking effects you've ever seen in anything ever.
Oh yes, I do. Okay.
Let
me see it again. I do remember. I can't picture it, but I do remember it being kind of.
It's the worst. Some of the worst effects. I do kind of want to see the Billy death scene though.
He says, "I'm sorry," right? Damn.
Well, they don't have Dumont's death, but trust me when I say it looks absolutely. Oh, I think it's here. Wait until you see her fall.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Not
the thing.
great.
But other than that, also there's more action in this one than the first season, and it's incredible. The gym fight, the Jim Halpert fight.
Legit, I was like, when did Jim show up?
When he's in the gym, it's super brutal too.
It's so brutal.
He knocked someone's eye out or something with a. God,
so good though.
So a really good season as well. And then Jessica Jones season 3. Haven't seen it, but I watched the trailer this morning.
Does it look good?
Interesting? Question mark. But yeah, I never got around to it.
Are they still on Netflix, these shows, or no?
Yeah, they're there, but they will not be continuing.
Oh yeah, because it's a Netflix Marvel collab, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was fun. Now it's time for
the Cnews.
Not much to this one, except I love the photo in this article. Tom Cruise pulls off death-defying motorbike stunt as he flies through air in Mission Impossible. Pretty standard Cruise stuff, but then you see the photo and it's just amazing. It's just Cruise just whoop.
Is this Cruise?
I don't know what he's doing here.
Looks like he just out a motorbike.
So just a beautiful photo there. I love that. Good for you, Cruise. Also, I wanted to say, because we said on episode 50 that all the comments we would try to either answer on that or turn into a full episode, which, by the way, we're doing. This was suggested by someone, and so was The Office, I believe. And a bunch of these have been suggested, which, by the way, I want to say thank you, because we may or may not have been running out of ideas, and this has really helped us. So you'll see, some episodes that you were looking for coming up. But I will say, from Andrew Taggart, characters you want to see join the MCU that haven't been previously announced. I don't think we could do a full episode on that, just because we're not as well versed in the comics as some other people. So I just want to put it in here because I did say we'd do a full episode, so I want to stay true to my word and answer it at least. Of course. So we would have answered in episode 50, but he did comment a little bit late, so that's why, Andrew.
Oh my god.
But we get
Taggart,
into it.
Can you get a grip?
We're getting to it now. I would say Miles Morales would be my answer. If you have...
He's a spider boy, no?
From Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I think they kind of mentioned him in Homecoming. They've mentioned that he exists, but I would love to see him in there with Peter Parker and potentially taking over for Peter Parker once Holland gets elderly.
Honestly, I don't know much. I don't think I'll have any good take on this.
So you say Miles Morales?
I'll say Miles as well.
You can see why this wouldn't have panned out as a full episode.
Nick from New Girl as Spider-Man's dad.
I mean, he did play Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Exactly.
Smart.
Boom, connections.
And we're back for the weekly Freddie Scotland segment where we talk about up-to-date stuff, because the rest of this was recorded, I think, on September 7th, but this is recorded on October 13th? 14th.
You absolute fool. It's 5 weeks ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So?
This time travel stuff is getting weird.
So, how you doing, Freddie? You want to give us a little Scotland update?
I would love to. Well, my area has gone into further restrictions once more.
Every episode.
Restaurants are now closed.
Oh my goodness.
The poorly planned has now just become you can just watch me spiral further and further into loneliness.
I mean, to be fair, in time, hopefully, if/when this thing ends, this will be like a neat little timeline for the world. This is the only piece of content that will exist in the future. Then they can piece together how Corona went.
Time capsule kind of thing. They look back to see the weekly Freddie Scotland updates.
So, well, yeah, I'm sorry.
Otherwise, things are good. Been playing a lot of Ultimate Frisbee.
Oh.
I get women.
Of course.
And Ultimate Frisbee is the sport to get many more. So I thought I'd try that. And otherwise, things are not bad over here.
Are you good at Ultimate Frisbee?
All the stuff.
Yeah, apart from everything. Are you good at Ultimate Frisbee?
I think. Okay, I will say compared to like the experienced people there, they're obviously better than me. But to all the new people, there are some people that are, and I hate to say this in case any of them are fans of the pod, which I highly suspect they are, but absolute dog shit.
You get a ton of hate comments?
Half the people unsubscribe. It's all the Ultimate Frisbee team.
There are 800 members of the Ultimate Frisbee team? Oh, man. Well,
so otherwise, it's good.
it sounds like you're having, well, I was going to say success, but you're playing Ultimate Frisbee. So great success, that is.
You cut out, but I assume you insulted me, and that's a great success.
That's how the pod usually goes. No, I insulted you, but then I switched it around and made it a compliment. So you'll hear it in the episode. Okay. It's a little.
I'll look back and
smile with joy. Well, stay safe. Hope things just for you and the world in general get better. And yeah, remember everyone at home also to stay safe and everything. We'll be hopefully Freddie will be back for another weekly update next week.
A message from our sponsors.
Ultimate Frisbee.
You heard of it? Us neither, but it's pretty good.
So, in terms of announcements and such this week, there's really nothing. Let me see what memes there were this week. Also, this is due to circumstances I'm not going to go into. This recording setup is absolutely insane, and my back is killing me, and yeah, it's not ideal here.
And I've turned into I'm back up Notre Dame. They call me the Quaz.
The Quaz. So, great meme, a Cavill meme, when the poorly planned podcast uploads on a Monday.
I saw that, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good one.
People seem to enjoy the little video. I'm going to try to be making more of those little videos.
I am one of those people who enjoyed it. I'll say it was a very good time. I just needed a break from work. I was like, this looks good.
Well, yeah, so I'm thank you. And I'm going to keep trying to make a few of those, maybe one a week, we'll see, but yeah, just a little thing in my spare time.
I'm mad, man.
I enjoy doing it.
When would those be going up then?
I just randomly.
Okay.
And then another great meme, when you're too busy binge listening the pod to make memes, which I also find regularly is a problem.
Yeah, the many memes you yourself make.
Yeah. I run the fan page.
Your name is Cian.
So thanks to Pierce and Cian for the fan page, link down below. The only other thing I've written here is new Duke trailer, which I meant to watch, but there's a new movie with Duke coming out, and I saw the thumbnail, but I didn't watch it, so I can only imagine.
New Duke trailer.
The nuke trailer, as they call it. I will also say in my notes here, before we started recording, we spent about 5 minutes.
This is a horrific experience for me.
We spent 5 minutes trying to decipher my note because it said pod rampage stuff, and I was like, does that ring a bell to you? Do you know what that's supposed to mean? And we sat there sitting, and I finally realized that it had autocorrected from pod fan page stuff. But the fact that my computer autocorrected to rampage.
So well. Also, I will say it was very scary for me because you turned to me. We're on FaceTime. You turned to me, ladies and gentlemen, looked me dead in my fucking eye, and said, "Do you know what rampage means?" I was like, "It means so much and so little at the same time."
And Freddie hung up immediately out of terror for his own life.
I'm giving too many state secrets away.
And finally, I'll just say the podcast is on iTunes and Spotify, like we've talked about. Or not iTunes, I should stop saying that. It's technically Apple Podcasts now. It was iTunes for so long. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, it's on YouTube, The Poorly Planned Podcast. Just search that on YouTube.
Little double thing there.
Boom. I'm on top of it. So, yeah, go there for, the pod is posted there, but then also other video content, like the little Robin Hood video and other stuff like that I mentioned, and also our occasional face cam video, like the end of The Poorly Planned, the first one. That's not on iTunes. That's just a channel exclusive. And, of course. Ben and Fred watches and stuff, so go subscribe there. If you're listening on YouTube, check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now, back to the original pod.
Bada-boom.
So, thank you very much for listening. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. You can also check out the fan pages, link in the description.
Oh, you found a loophole.
Link in the description so I don't have to say those tags the whole time.
And you can find me on Instagram at FDalgard. You can find me on Twitter at FDK_DoltSniper. And you can find me on YouTube at FDK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time. We're gonna go back to the original. You can't see, but I'm just Jim facing the whole time this man is doing this.